Huge all over the news with Biden bringing up climate emergency powers. And everyone's wondering what could happen if Biden declares the climate emergency.
The White House telling Fox Business it's now considering declaring a national climate emergency.
It's not a joke. They leaked this out to certain media groups just yesterday, probably to see what kind of pushback they're going to get from this. Folks, the official announcement for this could happen any day. And have you seen this?
Let's just say the power grid goes out. Okay, I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I know.
I just don't know when it's going to happen. Meaning, is it going to be in 2024 during election year? Because they're scared shitless that Trump could actually win.
And that's the buzz. A lot of viral videos regarding this. And that's aside of the fact from that extreme weather making our power outages worse, more, and lasting longer. And that alongside of the fact that are we running out of power? I've got major stuff coming down the pipe that you guys need to be aware of and some solutions, ways that you guys can handle it. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Big stuff on the news with certain media outlets dropping the bomb. Some would say it sounds all good right here.
The White House is considering declaring a national climate emergency to unlock federal powers and stifle oil development. That's according to Bloomberg. Meanwhile, the administration is announcing several projects this Earth Week. The plans include solar energy conservation, clean water, green transportation, and cutting pollution. For some analysis.
Now, when you listen to certain media outlets, they always skip over the important stuff. Let's listen to that one more time.
Unlock federal powers and stifle oil development.
Now, like they do, they go into all the fluffy stuff, but that little tiny little spot in what he just said is the important part. Unlock federal superpowers. Now, some would say there was chatter about this happening after his second term, but with the worry on the rise that he might not get it and the opposition might get it, they're dropping this bomb months early. Yep, they might be thinking, better get it in while we can, justifying that we've got a climate emergency gives them special powers. The special powers that normally would have to get passed through voting. Let's see how Fox Business responds to this.
The White House telling Fox Business it's now considering declaring a national climate emergency. But that's a climate crisis to you, Mark. The AP, which sets the standards for newsrooms across the country, they're urging Americans to use the term climate crisis to address the current situation. This is all troubling, but if the president declares a climate emergency, what impact does that have?
Well, I mean, this is the serious story of the day. NBC News has reported that if Joe Biden declares a national climate emergency, he would have COVID-like powers under that emergency, and they also compared the emergency powers to the 9/11 emergency powers.
You guys remember what those emergency powers were like? That's what we're talking about.
The Center for Biological Diversity has estimated Joe Biden would get about 130 wartime-like powers by which to bypass democracy and impose the Green New Deal on America without a single vote of Congress. This is truly this is a Halloween story, not a story for Earth Day. This is a truly frightening story, and he might just be desperate enough to do it. This is being widely reported in the media. The Biden White House is leaking this out. This might happen, and this is going to give Joe Biden these kind of, you want to say the word, dictatorial powers. He doesn't need no stinking democracy to impose the Green New Deal if he does this.
They've figured out how to slip things in there. They've figured out how to skirt around. And if this happens, it means a lot of craziness coming our way. Now, I'm sure this has everything to do with the election, the upcoming election. There's already worry, concern on whether they have what it takes to make it. You guys need to recognize that these are going to be desperate times, and there's going to be a call for desperate measures. We're also hearing some buzz, chatter, lots of viral feeds talking about the potential of disruption with power outages.
Let's just say the power grid goes out. Okay, I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I know.
I just don't know when it's going to happen. Meaning, is it going to be in 2024 during election year? Because they're scared shitless that Trump could actually win. Is it going to be next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? I believe it's going to happen. You best just do whatever you can to be ready for it. Some people are maybe saying, well, I don't have the kind of money. You guys got the money. This isn't about money. there's ways of preparing in different ways based on the kind of resources you got. You have to protect your family. How do you do it? You have to do a little bit of research, a little bit of studying for yourself, and to find out if that were to happen, do you have a small generator? Do you have certain things set aside? What method of payment will you use if you don't have any cash, or if you don't have, what other things do you have to protect your family?
These are all big concerns because they're saying that power outages are more frequent, lasting longer, and affecting more people more and more. And then there's other articles that are talking about how we're running out of power. Big surprise. You guys know how much those charging stations, how much power they take, aside of the fact of the millions and millions pouring over the line, which are also going to need a piece of that power. So with that, real quick, do you guys have a way to run your refrigerator when the power goes out? If it's a short time or an extended amount of time? I've shown you small little power generators like this one that could run a handful of small things for a certain amount of time depending on the power draw. But one thing you guys have asked is, will it run all my house for more than just an hour or two? We're getting pushed into a position where we need to think about extended power outages. So if that's you and you've been considering a backup power station for your entire home that could last days, if you think we're headed down that road and that would be a good security for you guys and your family, now I twisted their arm for you guys, and we're talking about $1,000 off for our community. Check this out. This is an EcoFlow Delta Pro Ultra Whole Home Backup System. Inverter plus battery. Guys, this thing will back up your entire home, and you can stack those batteries as many as you need and think you need for an extended amount of time. So seriously guys, these guys sent me this unit, check out to make sure it was gonna be good for you. I'm sitting here having this thing show up in the midst of us having lots of power outages, which I'm expecting we're gonna see more of. Knowing that this thing has a whopping 6 to 90 kilowatt hour capacity makes mean power solutions for what you need. We're talking about enjoying 30 days of uninterrupted, essential backup power, and that's keeping every gadget working at all times. Knowing that you could expand this thing all the way up to 90 kilowatt hours, 15 stackable units, saves you guys a lot of space in the garage, being able to go high instead of wide. I know having a smaller power station is super ideal, but moving into darker times, a lot of us are putting a bigger backup station on our wish list. So whether the timing is now or not, learning a little bit more about this option could be really ideal. And seriously, whether it's this one or not, again, if you guys want to deep dive this, link down in description. Riverside 1000 will get you that discount off of this unit or the bundled unit. Let me quickly go over this thing real quick before we jump back into the news. So seriously guys, when you put this thing on your wish list and you have this thing show up to your place, it is like Christmas. For anybody that's into prepping or serious about making sure you and your family's taken care of when that power goes out. When it came, I was super impressed on how the panels came. Their carrying case was super sturdy, reinforced edges. These panels are huge. They are absolutely huge. The covering case doubles for a backer so that you can actually stand them up in your yard if you didn't have a specific place for them or you were trying to be mobile. The bags work pretty good, and this is a lot of solar panel surface area. They sent me the bundle where I got 2 of these things, and they were definitely impressive to run this huge entire home backup system. Now, as you guys know, there's tons of companies out there selling power stations. Me deep diving this one, I'm reading a lot about value for what you get, and that's aside of the fact that they're giving you such a huge discount. Now, when you get into this, you're gonna notice it's big and it's heavy, but it's got very nice wheel system. A child could push this thing around because it rolls with ease. And all of the plugins on the front, as you can see, there's some big plugins. You can plug in your dryer. This thing's even got a washing machine receptacle. You can plug your washing machine right into this thing. As you can see, it's got a 30 amp, it's got regular outlets, it's got USB. The thing is clearly a beast, and the display is very easy to use, easy to read. Even if you had it in your house instead of the garage. You could easily roll it to any room. You could run extension cords. Again, guys, this is the EcoFlow Delta Pro Ultra Whole Home Backup System. Something that I'm sure has been on a lot of our wish lists, and something that you could move around your house or tie it into your entire system. And like I said, with them giving us $1,000 off for our community only, this might be the timing for you. I read through a lot of comments, and I know that some of you guys were wanting bigger systems and which ones that I thought might be good. A lot of us would agree that something big's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time, whether it has to do with these emergency powers or possible planned power outages to make certain things difficult. I mean, there's an election right around the corner, and remember what I said, desperate times call for desperate measures. Did any of you guys like the lockdowns? Might be coming down the pipe. Even the press secretary said, in quotes, "I would not plan an announcement this week on national climate emergency, but everything is on the table," she said. "It's not going to be this week on that decision," she adds. Seriously, what would happen if this climate emergency thing went through and the special powers were granted? As Washington Post says, as many activists and politicians say, is an emergency. President Biden may soon make that official. Biden is weighing declaring a national climate emergency, an extraordinary move that would allow the president to tap new powers and pots of money in his administration's efforts to curb climate warming emissions. You guys think of everything that would come along with that? Turning a crisis into an opportunity. For months, many of Biden's allies have agitated for the president to tap a variety of long-lasting emergency authorities under the National Emergencies Act and other laws to tackle what they see as a genuine crisis for the planet. This wouldn't be because everything that he's trying to do on the back burners just aren't coming through the way they want it, right? They had the special powers, well, nothing would need to get passed. You see what I mean there? The only sure way to meet ambitious U.S. climate goals is to unleash tens of billions of dollars in private sector investments, which is precisely what pending clean energy tax incentives would do, he said. Folks, that's a lot of money and a lot of power on things that have not got passed in the voting. So, doing it this way bypasses all that. Why vote on it when you can just declare a national emergency? You guys want to know what's going to happen next? Just look to Europe. They've got the same agenda without the checks and balances. They've already got the control of what they call the freedom of movement. So when something happens, they say stuff like this. Public events, including some of the official 18 June residents' celebrations, will be prohibited from Friday until the end of the heat wave. Indoor events at venues without air conditioning also banned. Private celebrations such as weddings, etc., etc. Does that sound familiar? Want to see where they're headed? Look at Europe, just like the pandemic. That's stuff that we had to deal with. Whether we liked it or not, that's the type of power had, and sounds like this is what's coming down the pipe. So with that, Biden administration possibly to declare a national climate emergency in the near future, that's something that needs to be on your guys' radar. Please share so more people are aware and ready. Watch a couple of these other videos that they probably don't want you to watch either. And again, special links down below. Like and share so you guys don't miss my next update of awareness. Keep repping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.